you all are doing well and welcome back to my channel Code Fusion Hub. So here I am with solving another problem of SQL. Okay. So make sure you are also consistent with me on this journey, and if you have any doubts you can drop down in the comment section below, and make sure you have subscribed to my channel so that you never miss any update from this whole series. And make sure you practice the questions on your own. Don't just look into the video and think that you'll solve all the type of problems. So I would request cut. So I would request you all to practice on all the questions according to you, and make sure you're consistent. Don't just break the whole loop of solving the questions. Just get out some time of your daily routine, and you'll be very good to go in mastering any skills. Okay, so make sure you have subscribed to my channel. If you are new to this channel, I'll give you the links in the description box of the previous videos. You can go and check it out there also over here. And let's start with our today's video. And for today's question, we are going to take the question number 1581. Okay, not 181, 1581. Okay, you can just search it over here and you'll get it. And we are going to solve this problem for our today's video. Okay. So, first of all, let's go through the question. What does the question say over here? The customer who visited but did not make any transactions. Okay. So, let's have a look at the question. We have a table which states the visits, okay, which has the column visit ID and the customer ID. So, visit ID is the column with unique values. Okay. So, we don't have any duplicates in the table. And this table contains the information of the customers who visited a mall. Okay, there is a mall, okay, in which visit ID has been generated over each and every customers that come and visit the mall. This was the data about the first table, and its data type was kept as int because all the values are numeric over here. Talking about a second table is nothing but about transactions. Okay, transactions has the column name as transaction ID. The visit ID is nothing but the visit ID we got over here and the amount. Okay, everything is numeric again over here. So the data type are kept as int for the same. So we have this transaction ID, okay, which is the unique value of this table. And this table contains the information about the transactions which are made during the visit ID. Okay. So there is a customer ID who is coming and generating a visit ID. Okay. And on every visit, a transaction ID has been generated according to whatever the people are buying over here. So we have to find a solution where we have to find the IDs of the user who have visit ID. Okay, we have generated a visit ID but doesn't have any transaction ID because they have not bought anything. So without making any transactions, that we have to find their number of customers, and we also have to find the number of times they made these types of visit. Okay, so we have to return the table in any order over here. Now what we have to do is we have to look at the example first of all, to look at the input and the output. What we are expecting over here is we are having a visit table which is having a visit ID and the customer ID over here. Visit ID is this 124567 and the customer ID according to this is over here. Okay, so here we have a transaction ID. According to the visit ID we have particular transactions and also the amount has been provided over here. Now what are we going to do is we are getting a customer ID that is 54, suppose. Okay, so we have 54. The ID visit ID is 5 over here. So we have 3 times the visit ID. Okay, so the number of transactions according to that we have to check. So first of all we'll go through the explanation. The customer ID with 23. First we'll go with this. Okay, so the customer ID that is 23 visited the mall once. Okay, because we don't see any other visits over here. Visit ID is 1 over here for the customer 23. Now we'll go and check the visit ID 1. Okay, the visit ID 1 has a transaction ID that is, let's say, 12. Okay, so it has made one transaction that is of 910 amount. Okay, so amount doesn't matter over here. So we have seen this. Okay. Now here we have to go and check for the ID 54. Okay. So this customer visited the mall thrice. Okay, the customer has visited the mall thrice because it has three different visit IDs, that is 5, 7, and 8 over here. Okay, now 5, 7, and 8. The 7, 8 are not over here. Okay, in this visit ID table, only the ID 5 is present, that too thrice. Okay, that doesn't matter that how many transactions you are doing. Okay, so we have to check that only once the customer bought something and twice the customer didn't bought anything. So we have the number of transactions that was 0 is twice. Okay, same goes for 30 and 96 as well. Okay, so first of all we'll just have a look at what approach you should think upon. So pause the video and try to answer it in the comment section below, that what do you think should be the approach in solving this problem. Okay, that is nothing but the left join. Okay, now why a left join needs to be used over here, we'll just comment down, otherwise it will give an error in our query. Okay, now we are going to use the left join over here. Now why we are using the left join? Because we want the table, we want the left hand side all the rows, and we have to go and match it on the right hand side. Okay, if it is present it's okay, if it is not it will return me a null value over here. Okay, so but I have to count the number of visits, right? So I cannot just write the visit ID over here, I have to give a count on that also. So we would be using the count, and so we would also be using the group by followingly. Okay, so if you still didn't got it, we can just look at the solution and you'll understand it more clearly upon this. So what are we expecting over here? First is the customer ID. Is the customer ID present in any of our table? Yes, it is present in the visits table. So directly what are we going to do is we are going to select, let's say the alias for visits table we are giving as V over here. Okay, so we are taking the customer ID. Okay, so is the customer ID like this only over here? Yeah, correct. So the customer ID we got from the visit table. So first column is ready. Now second we have count no transactions. So we have to rename this accordingly. Okay, so we have to give the visit ID, but we don't have to provide all the visit ID. We have to give the count of the visit ID over here. So what are we going to do is we are going to count the visit ID over here. Okay, so yeah, so we got the visit ID and we are going to rename it as count no transactions according to what we are specified over here. Okay, so we got the names of the columns that we want. Okay, now we are going to take it from this visits table and we have given it the alias as v above only. Now we are going to perform the left join. Okay, the left join on the left hand side is our left table and on the right hand side would be our right table, which we have to match the values upon. For transactions I am giving it as t, keeping it quite simple, and giving an on condition. Now on which thing you need to perform this left join? We need to perform the left join from first of all the left table. So we are going to take visit ID from the left table. What is it? Yeah, so this is the visit ID, and from the transaction table also we are going to match the visit ID itself. Okay, so I got both of them. Okay, so I have the visit ID from my visits table and also the visit ID from my transaction table. Okay, so both are present over here, but I have to get only those whose visit ID is going to be null. Okay, whose visit ID is null. To check is null, we use this in SQL. Okay, so it gives us the value where we have the null values over here. So now what is this condition going to do is this where clause, this condition filters the result set to include only those rows where the visit ID column from the transaction table is null. Okay, so in other words, it selects the visits from the visits table that do not have any corresponding transaction in the transaction table over here. So it will just filter out me the values over there, and it and lastly what we'll do is we'll just group by what the visits customer ID. Okay, now why would we group by in the last is because this groups the result set by the customer ID column from the visits table. When using this group by query, okay, when we are using this group by query, it aggregates the data which is based on specified column, that is customer ID. It performs the calculation that is present over here, such as count over here. So it groups that over here. Okay, so I hope you have understood. We'll just run the code and check what needs to be done over here. If it didn't work, no, it works well. Okay, so we have the expected output properly over here. So we have just got the customer ID, we have counted the visit ID, applied a left join, and only took those values which is having a value as null. That means that there are no transactions in the transaction table against that particular customer ID over there. Okay, so we have to group by again to the customer ID so that we can perform the calculation and everything accordingly to that. Here our code has been accepted, our test cases have been passed. For this particular condition, the input and the output, we'll just submit it and evaluate all the possible test cases for this particular scenario, so that any of them is not missed over here. Yes, so our test cases have been accepted and evaluated properly according to the description that has been provided over here. Okay, so I hope you guys have understood the problem. If you have any doubt, you can just give me in the comment section below. I'll see you guys in the next lecture. Make sure if you like the video, just please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And I'll see you guys in the next lecture. Till then, take care. Bye bye.